The ability to observe without evaluating is the highest form of intelligence. It is truth that liberates, not your effort to be free. Tell your friend that in his death, a part of you dies and goes with him. Wherever he goes, you also go. He will not be alone. Tradition becomes our security, and when the mind is secure, it is in decay. You can only be afraid of what you think you know. Happiness is strange, it comes when you are not seeking it. When you are not making an effort to be happy, then unexpectedly, mysteriously, happiness is there, born of purity, of a loveliness of being. If you begin to understand what you are without trying to change it, then what you are undergoes a transformation. It is only when the mind is free from the old that it meets everything anew, and in that there is joy. Analysis does not transform consciousness. Happiness comes when you are doing something because you really love to do it, and not because it gives you riches or makes you a prominent person. Living in the present is the instant perception of beauty and the great delight in it without seeking pleasure from it. Teaching is not the mere imparting of knowledge, but the cultivation of an inquiring mind. Thought is the origin of fear. What has validity is your living, not what happens tomorrow. In understanding what beauty is, we shall know love, for the understanding of beauty is the peace of the heart. Through a narrow window we can see only part of the sky, and not the whole vastness, the magnificence of it. The mind can only gather, accumulate, deny, assert, remember, pursue. Peace is absolutely essential, because without peace we cannot live creatively. There can be freedom from fear only when there is self-knowledge. Self-knowledge is the beginning of wisdom, which is the ending of fear. To compare is the very nature of a mind that is not awake to discover what is true. Peace is of the heart, not of the mind. To know peace you have to find out what beauty is. When the individual is in conflict within himself, he must inevitably create conflict without, and only he can bring about peace within himself and so in the world, for he is the world. So, while you are young you must begin to find out what is this strange thing called happiness. That is an essential part of education. To understand the whole operation of one's own mind requires a great deal of insight, a great deal of inquiry without condemnation. The ambitious man has never found his true vocation. Authority in its very nature prevents the full awareness of oneself and therefore ultimately destroys freedom. In freedom alone can there be creativeness. The question is not how to get rid of fear, but how to awaken the intelligence with which to face and to understand and go beyond fear. Love is something totally new every day, but pleasure is not. Pleasure has continuity. Love is always new, and therefore it is its own eternity. The important thing is first to find out what you are afraid of, to understand it and not run away from it. The observer is the observed. Love is love, not to be defined or described by the mind as exclusive or inclusive. Love is its own eternity. It is the real, the supreme, the immeasurable. To have intelligence, there must be freedom, and you cannot be free if you are constantly being urged to become like some hero, for then the hero is important and not you. Most people are afraid to stand alone. They are afraid to think things out for themselves, afraid to feel deeply, to explore and discover the whole meaning of life.